right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pilot episode of Granted Radio, coming to you live from Granted Records in the almost beautiful Santa Ana, California.
It's a great neighborhood.
It is,
where
man.
we are is a great neighborhood.
A lot of cool stuff happening here.
Yes. Should we introduce
Yeah,
ourselves?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pilot.
All right. I am Alex. I haven't developed a cool radio nickname yet, so I'm just going to go by my first name.
DX.
Yeah, the X. All right, there you go. Figured it out. That was fast.
Hazem, I am VP Marketing of Granted Records, and I thought it would be a good idea to have this podcast.
Yeah, I am Alaeddin. I'm also Hazem's brother, and I own Granted Records. But today I'm going to be filling the shoes of the very first featured spotlight artist.
That's right.
Absolutely.
You're our guest and host today.
That's right. Yeah. Pulling double duties.
Yeah.
So how do you guys want to start this? Should we
I think
talk about the concept first of the podcast and then ask?
Yeah. I
Ask
think that's a
questions,
good way to start it. Yeah, sure.
All right. So as we know, podcasts are getting very big. Everything these days is online, whether it's social media, your own websites, videos. Now, podcasts are a big part of that. But why? Podcasts are a part of that because of search engine optimization. So, which all traffic comes from search engines, and Google has about 70% of that traffic. So, any search engine optimization strategy should have a podcast in it. And the reason why is not just the good content that comes from the podcast, but actually the links that are placed in the description of the podcast or the transcript of it. So Google can actually see, or the search engines can see all that and then create links. The more links you have, the more you're going to rank in all search engines. So that's really the part of this. And it'll be, I guess, a package that we give our artists that we sign on.
Yeah, I was going to say that's that's the technical side of it, but I think
Right, it's technical, yeah.
right. I think a big part of why I listen to podcasts and why I like to watch interviews and stuff like that. So you get to know the artist, the person behind the music or the comedy or the movies, TV, whatever. And I think this gives a little bit of insight into some of the artists that step into Granted Records and record it. It's great for fans to get to know the people they're listening to.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I see so many clients throughout the week, and each one of them's got just a really cool aspect about them that I just wish more people could find out about, because chances are it's not written in their songs, and they certainly can't hear it in their voice. So I think this kind of gives them a second
Right.
voice.
So it's a different medium. So we got mediums of reading, right, with articles and blogs. You got videos that you can do of those blogs, or even their music videos. But then you have this type of thing, which is way more intimate. And people listen to podcasts all the time. So I guess we should start with you, Emo.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm ready.
Yeah, just give us a little insight into. I know you said you're the owner here, but why don't you just go ahead and give us insight into what exactly your kind of like your day to day is like, and what kind of services that Granted Records provides.
Well, I'm 7 days a week. Of course, any business owner would be foolish not to make sure they're available 100% of the time for their clients. So, but we are a full service audio production house, which includes recording services for music, but also audiobooks and even training videos. But we're actually, Granted Records is built on 3 principal services, and it's learn, record, become. So the learn part is a music school that we have lessons available for beginners all the way to advanced students. And the instruments range from voice to guitar, bass, and even violin and brass instruments. And then the record part, as you could probably guess, is using the recording equipment that we've got at the studio. It's all state-of-the-art stuff, great equipment. And then become is really I think that's something that's offered that not too many studios offer. Because when you record a piece, it's not like you're going to release it on Spotify and everybody on the planet's going to find out about your music. So Hazem having his digital, so Hazem having that digital marketing background, we're able to offer the artists something that can really help elevate their campaigns to promote their music.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've already seen a lot of stuff on Instagram. Various artists you've had in here. I've seen behind the scenes stuff of a music video that's being made recently, which is really cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of stuff you don't see from every studio.
No. And, it's not like we're just offering as many services as possible and casting a wide net. I've been doing this for 15 years where I've been a performer. I've trained with Ron Anderson, who is the top vocal coach in the world. And as far as the studio side of things, I've been producing my own records for the past. Well, my first produced album was 2009, and I've
Wow.
been doing it consistently since then. And so
It's
we do
almost
have
10 years experience in producing.
Yeah. And then Hazem, I mean, he's been in the telecom industry for the longest time, and he's got a degree in digital marketing. You get a lot of people that understand digital marketing, but nobody really committed themselves to actually learning the science behind it like he did.
It is technical, and yeah, when you mentioned that, like I try really hard not to be technical. You know, 'cause no one cares about that.
Especially musicians, they don't understand it.
I was listening to you and I was going, yeah.
And you're right. No one really cares about that.
No, but it's good.
It's an important. Yeah, it's important
yes,
to know.
yes, it is.
It's a foundational thing.
Yeah.
Because then it makes everything else you do better. It works.
Right.
You're like, how come stuff is not working? Well, because you don't have the fundamentals right. That's
Right.
all it is, really.
True.
So when you with music, I mean, when did you start with music? What was your first musical instrument? And
My first exposure to music. Well, first off, I suffered from being a terrible stutterer, and that was a big impediment on being able to be social and speak with people, and it was tough. So my first exposure to music was realizing through one of my speech therapists that when you sing, you don't really stutter. So I sang a whole lot more than I spoke, which was good. It was good practice
A
for
lot
me.
of fun to grow up with, I'm sure.
yeah. My name is
But
Emad.
oh my God, we're gonna scrap that.
That's a song.
That's the first song I ever wrote. People are always like, "You got to sing it to me." I'm like, "I'm never singing that to you," and he remembers it. I can't believe he remembers it. All the joys of having your brother on board with you. I'm already sweating. But yeah, so I was creating music since I started singing, which was very early, and that was the first song I ever wrote. But really, what really catapulted me, and I don't know why my parents did this, but at the age of 9. I woke up at like 5 in the morning, and at the foot of my bed was a Casio keyboard. And I was over the moon, and I never stopped playing that thing. I would just play it day in, day out. And I never sang in front of people yet, because even though I was able to sing at the house and not stutter, I didn't know if that would work in front of people. So I really didn't sing in front of people until the 6th grade. And when I sang, I remember I was in a choir in school, and I would still be very quiet during the practices. But finally, when we had the show, I just let it out, and the kids on the bleachers all turned around and were watching me, because they never knew that this dude who's been stuttering his face off like for the past year that I'd been there, that I was just singing the way I was. And so that gave me the confidence to really start singing in front of people. I got my first guitar at 14, and I didn't put that down. I actually started writing right away. I didn't put any chords to My Name is Emo, though.
It's just bass. You just have bass.
Can you do that thing? I had a couple of like CDs growing up, and they would always put like a secret track at the end. You want to do it on your next, next CD?
Yes, those are always fun. You should have that.
Yeah,
like 13 minutes in or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine I
Or
actually
maybe you
release
play the
My Name is
album
Emo.
backwards, and like that's how it works.
But fast forward to when I started becoming a professional was when I had this friend in high school. He was visiting. He wasn't in my high school, but he was a friend through high school. And he started saying, "Oh, you guys' music is amazing. I'm going to London, and I'm going to shock you to Geffen and all these things." And so he started.
When was this?
This was in
High school?
11th grade.
Oh,
Yeah.
11th grade, okay.
And I remember I believed him, and he was telling me he was going from office to office in London, and that I need to fly to London, and I'm going to get signed. And it was complete hogwash.
Yeah, I mean that's
Wow.
the thing. My dad works at Google, and he can,
Yeah.
it's always some bullshit like that.
Yeah. But despite that, he kind of sparked this thing inside me that maybe there's a chance. So,
Oh.
I
didn't know that.
Yeah. So I just committed myself to, well, keeping good grades. Of course, I can go to college, but in college, my main focus was music. I joined a cappella groups, which was great for my social
I mean,
life.
you went to a top-tier university.
I did well, man. That was William and Mary. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was. I used to visit you. It was fun.
Beautiful. Yeah, we used to have a great
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I wrote a bunch of songs there, and I honed my skills. And the reason why I started writing was because I was in that band that was promised to be signed, but I didn't write any of the songs. It was all the guy. It was all the guitar player. And so when he graduated and left a year before I did, I didn't have any music to play, so I was just
This is where in high school, you mean?
yeah.
Oh.
So during that year, I'd finally written some songs, and I joined my guitarist in the same school. He went to William and Mary, and we started using my songs, and I just hadn't looked back at just writing and writing. I'm now close to about 200 songs. I've
That's
written.
amazing, man.
And
200 songs.
Yeah, if not more. I
Are they all registered with the ASCAP? And
the ones that I recorded, yes. So I've got 3 solo albums that I've written and recorded, of course. But then I've got an album with Avowed. I've got 3 albums.
That was
with,
the other one. I couldn't remember the name of
yeah.
that. Avowed, yeah.
I've got 3 albums with Third Wish. I've got an album with The Final Wish, and I've got an EP with the Alaeddin Trio. So that's 8 albums that I've written.
amazing,
Songs
dude.
for,
That's a
yeah.
lot of content.
Oh my God! Yeah, each one has between 10 and 12. It's funny you mentioned the hidden track because the first solo record has a hidden track.
Oh, does
There we
it?
go.
Yeah, it's called Intervention.
Do you feel like the themes of your albums have changed as you've moved from group to group?
What's changed is whether I'm actually writing something that's going on in my life that's real, or writing more fantasy stories. Because really, a lot of people write their lyrics first and then they write the music. I can't grasp how that's
Really?
at all possible.
Yeah,
I can't.
I wouldn't see that either.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
wouldn't see that.
you come up with
Music-
guitar chords,
Yeah.
and then you kind of sing a melody that's unlike anything else you've heard on the radio, and then words just start coming out. And so a lot of the times the words that come out, I can either relate it to what's happening in my life, but given that I don't have much going on in my social life since everything's dedicated to the studio, lately it's just been stories that I've been making up.
Or, like all your songs revolve around you, like sitting,
In front
on
of
your
the
chair, on your computer.
Yeah. And I prefer
But
that.
I mean, the struggle's still there, right? I mean,
There
the,
is,
the
and now-
daily struggle. And
Yeah, owning a business is so, I mean, God. It's not that it's stressful. It's just there's
And there's a lot.
there's a
There's a
lot
lot.
to keep focused on.
Yeah.
I don't have a full staff. I mean, it's Hazem, myself, Tim, and we've got 3 instructors that cover the instruments that neither of us teach.
yeah, so you bring a lot of experience to this too. So
Yeah.
you bring your music experience, you bring your producing experience, you bring your promotional experience.
And the struggle experience.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, so tell
Definitely.
us also, like, when you were trying to sell your music or get signed, what kind of people did you meet, and what
Great.
did they promise
I can
you?
only imagine.
Oh, I have the best one for you.
Okay, let's hear
Guy, and I'm not going to say his name because he's on my Facebook, and I see people I'm talking about hundreds of people liking his posts. I'm like, do you not know he is the biggest con man in the world?
Yeah.
So I meet this guy outside of a strip club.
Nice
I'm
place
not
to
gonna
meet
get into
someone.
that. Yeah, but that's how you meet. That's how you meet
That's how you-
musicians.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
strip clubs. Those are like
Oh,
the
I'm going to the wrong
legit
places to
strip
hang out.
clubs. Yeah, you make your money during the day, and you either spend it on studios or strippers.
Right.
And so outside smoking a cigarette was this dude, and he seemed pretty legit because he had tattoos all over, piercings all over, and he was asking about our music, and he's like, "Hey, send me a link. I'd love to hear it." And so we did, and he's like, "I have an offer. I'm gonna record you guys. This is the stuff that I've done." And he owns a label or an indie label and works with a lot of metal bands. And he said, even though I'm not metal, but more on the rock side.
This is with Avowed, right? Those days.
Yes,
so
we
you
were-
guys were kind of hard.
Wait,
yeah,
we
hard.
were- give me like
we were
a
Third
year-
Wish at the time.
what
This was in 2000 and
3, 4.
yeah 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, around that time. And it took about a year for us to finally muster up the funds to pay for this whole thing. He said, for $5,000, I'll record you guys 2 songs, and for another $5,000, I will shop you guys to my labels. I said, okay. So the
Sounds like a good deal.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
really excited because I'm looking at his site, and I'm looking at everything seems pretty legit. And he recorded the stuff, and we were pretty happy with it. He actually did a really decent job, but it took him a week for him to come to get back to us and say, "Hey, sorry, man, nothing came of it." And I just felt like there's no real proof. He didn't have any logs, and I don't know if they liked it at all or not. But something like that where you can't see results at all, and all you're trusting is this, for lack of a better word, strangers' feedback that nobody liked it. What's to stop him from just taking the $5,000, not
Right.
even using
Shopping it.
yeah, or using the favors, because that's all it is. It's just personal relationships and building.
Yeah,
these-
like one
It's
thing
always
should
who-
come,
it's
should
always-
come out of it. One.
Yeah.
think-
Like a radio interview.
right, opening for
something.
somebody. Yeah,
yeah.
opening for somebody, and so that really hurt. And the fact that I stayed friends with him, I should probably unfriend him right now.
Well, no, what's really confusing is that he saw something in you and heard something in you, so it goes against him.
Well,
You know?
True.
Also, I mean, you can hear whatever you want if someone's giving you $10,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that. If that's how you make your money, that's how you make your money. You say, "Oh, I like your sound," but if they're paying you at the end of the day, I mean, you can just
Yeah.
say like whatever.
I'm just surprised he's still doing it because usually those people get caught or
He
you know,
is.
people.
Yeah.
I think
And
if you,
now, I mean, I just heard a story from a good friend that's in a band saying that his buddies got signed to a label in San Diego, and there was a big thing. Everyone on Facebook was like, "Congratulations, you're signed to a label. You're signed to a label." And they did like a live stream of their first show under the label, and there was like 3 people there, and that's the support you get from a label these days. Is zero.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. And the sad thing is when you sign on as an artist, you feel like, oh, God, okay, cool. I can just focus on my music. Of course, naturally. But if you're not focusing on the business, even when you're signed either, under an indie or if you're lucky enough under a major's different, but under indie labels, if you're not doing the work and now you're complacent thinking all I have to do is focus on the music, you're just going to plummet.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they end up giving you all the responsibility, right, to do everything.
Obviously.
Do your social media, do your website,
The promoting. Yeah, it's a weird industry. Once you're signed, that's just the beginning of even more hard work.
Yeah. So, well, let me go to the instruments. So you play bass, you play guitar,
I do.
you play piano. Do you play? I mean, you play piano, right?
I started on piano, and I teach voice, so I still play the piano while I'm teaching voice. My passion, so I'll write all my songs on guitar, but my passion is playing the bass. So with my current band, the Alaeddin X, instead of me playing the guitar and finding a bass player, I actually found 2 guitar players, and I am playing the bass.
Oh, nice.
I love it.
I think the best bass players are guitar players.
True,
right? 'Cause
true,
they can-
because they think melody, not just rhythm, but melody.
yeah.
I was at your show in Anaheim at
Oh,
the
yeah.
House of Blues, and so that whole thing's a story in and of itself. But finally, when you guys got
I
on,
wish I went.
I wish too, dude. It was fun.
yeah, but I ended up at a death metal. It doesn't matter. I'll tell that story someday. Yeah, I was gonna say. So it was like a really cool venue. It's like kind of like a bar with a big open floor
Yep.
and a stage up front.
Yeah, the foundation room.
Right, yeah. And it was kind of like, people like hanging out on couches and stuff. And then when you guys started playing, I was up front. And I turned around and the whole place, it completely filled up. Everyone was like so enthralled with your guys' sound. It was amazing. It was just the coolest thing ever. And I was like watching you play. I was just like, I was like, this is cool for him. Like,
Yeah.
I was just so like impressed with the kind of energy in the crowd that you guys drew. And it was, just a kind of a testament to how creative and talented you are as an
Yeah,
artist.
Absolutely, man.
Thanks. And being able to let go. I think a lot of my shortfalls growing up, and I'm glad that I went through them. Like LA in 10 years was a lot of learning and failing. I mean, there wasn't much accomplished on the grand scheme of things. But what I learned, of course, I applied later on.
Experience, yeah.
Yeah, but learning to really let go and just allow things to happen was probably the biggest thing that I took from that. And what I mean by that is I would always be very stressed out about the guitar player playing the right chords or not letting somebody sing my harmonies because they're going to sing it wrong. And ever since I found the right guys that had a good attitude and just trusting them to kind of just do their part and not be stressed about it, because every time I'd be stressed about it, the show would start and I'd have no voice. And it was a big letdown. But now, I mean, stress levels are so low, and I totally trust my guys. And they all sing, so it's unlike any band I've been in before, where they're all like lead singer types. So we each share lines in the songs so that focus isn't just on me anymore, which takes a lot of stress off of me too. People are looking at Joe, the drummer, while he's singing, and then Louis while he's singing, Dan while he's singing, and then we all join in on choruses for harmonies. So it's that distribution is, I think,
Less stressful too.
big time, and you're not the focus anymore. I still kept my thumbs down. You saw the last tweet like last week.
There's always haters, man.
Yeah, there always will be, but now it's not so much.
What happened? I missed that.
He's gone though. I don't see that tweet. Like some random guy, like Emo joined the band, and they were really happy. Ferrari.
Yeah, Keith Fiore band.
Keith Fiore. So he tweeted. He goes, "Meet Emo Alaeddin." He didn't have your Twitter handler, but everyone's like, "Congratulations! What's his Twitter? I want to follow him." Blah blah blah. And there's this random guy goes, "Emo." Boo! Like that. And I pressed. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, he doesn't even know.
Social
Emo.
media was a mistake.
Well, he sent me that screenshot with the big WTF on it, and made me laugh. I mean, that's the first one I'd gotten in a while, and
It's
just-
gone.
I
though.
mean,
It's
if
gone.
it's
Makes me
it's
happy.
one person in a group of people giving you congratulations and cheering you on, I mean,
yeah,
like,
I know. It's just
the more people you have hating you, I've found that just means the more success. Unless it's
Right.
You're
There's a
a
lot-
complete
There is-
scumbag. But
There
like,
is that, but you always. Now, something like emo like that. I mean, when somebody does that, I don't understand what to learn from it. But when
like he
somebody
didn't
goes,
tell us anything though. Like,
right. If
It's
he
just
goes,
it's just attention.
his singing
Yeah.
sucks. I'll always go back and go, okay, I can always improve because there's always room for improvement. And to down yourself because you're just not perfect, then you're pretty much
Right. I mean,
setting yourself up for
that's
success.
very good advice. I mean,
failure.
if you're going to put yourself out there, if I would put myself out there, I wouldn't read anything.
Yeah.
I'm just that type because even though I would try like not to care, there's still a part of me
Oh
that cares.
no, I'm right
It's-
there with you.
It's irrational,
Yeah.
and I know it is, but I wouldn't read anything.
Yeah.
you know, and
That's
not
a good
care.
release, yeah.
Well,
Because
Sorry, I also, like thinking back to that sad person, who's going on social media to ravage against whoever that they're hating currently. You know who it's just some fat, nerdy loser living in
Yeah.
his parents' basement. It's not anyone with talent or skill that knows anything.
He wants
or
attention.
it
Yeah.
could be a fellow musician that just has not had the proper guidance to get him to where he wants to be. Everybody can get to where they want to be. It's
Yeah.
just you need the proper tools and the proper support.
Yeah.
So I think when you have that built-in resentment and that feeling of being jaded, especially out here in SoCal, man, it's so easy to be put down and just
Oh, definitely.
you have like a guy like I
All
experienced.
image-based.
They're all over in LA. They're all over. They won't charge as much as $5,000, but
Vultures.
they are
Because they know like millions of people move here every year with that dream.
yeah.
Mhm.
They're monetizing it.
Oh,
you
big
know?
time.
Oh, let me listen to your stuff. You pay this, pay this, pay this.
Yeah,
and-
yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. You can say you like anything if the person's coming with a paycheck.
Exactly.
And those people don't have websites, they don't have review sites, and so they're not losing anything because they'll just go to the next person and they
There's
don't
no
know-
Yelp. Like
Right.
no one has Yelp these guys.
No,
So
no.
weird.
The day the Yelp comes out for like studios will be just the end of so many of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably.
Yeah.
But you're talking about like individuals that don't even have
That's-
studios.
yeah, I didn't
like
think
this
about-
guy,
yeah,
he we paid him to produce us and to shop us. Like there's no office we went to. The only place we went to was the studio to record with him, and the rest was
But
just,
was it his studio or did
No.
he rent it out?
no, he probably just paid, about $1,000 to have us in the studio.
Huh. That was I was actually going to ask that question.
Mhm.
So it wasn't. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Wow.
But you're a one-man show, so when it comes to like writing your own music, now producing your own music, you
Yeah.
also promote it. You have
Mhm.
you have a website, you keep it up to date. You have amazing social media. You have more than 5,000 followers on Facebook, almost 6, I think. It's
Yeah.
pretty huge, man.
And everyone needs help, and that's why I've got you helping me, because for me to take care of the creative aspect and the business side, one of them is going to suffer. And that's why labels are so important, but you don't need an actual label. You just need somebody or an entity that's just responsible for making sure people are finding out about you.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. So we're developing artists. Not in a sense developing their music because they come in already very talented with their own sound, with their own stories. What we do is we try to package them where people see interest,
Yeah.
in them and get their music out there. And it's not easy because there's a lot of people doing that, a lot of people individually, but I don't think there's the labels committed to that because, it is a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
But I think the reward is great.
Oh, yeah. And the
Because-
results are clear.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we vet the people first.
We do.
Yeah.
What's most important to us is we bring in artists that are ready, that aren't just kind of flighty and they're having issues.
They're talented. Very
Talented and determined to just go the distance, because we're going to put a lot of work up front and we're going to really set up like everything, all the platforms they need to find new fans, or for new fans to find them. And for us to put all that work in only for somebody to decide that he got a job, in Texas and is going to start selling insurance. It's
That's
not,
the dream. I'm just kidding.
that is moving to Texas is not a bad thing. So that's one of the things that we vet for, is really where their determination lies.
Hmm. Well, and, the artists I've seen in here are definitely people who are determined.
Yeah.
Everyone I've seen in here
Hmm.
so far has, you can tell they're driven, they're passionate, and this is what they want to do.
You can see it. You can see it in their eyes because we ask the right questions. We always ask them, "What's your why? Why are you doing this? What got you to start music, and what motivates you now if that's no longer the motivation?" And those questions really uncover some pretty interesting things. we have one guy that his motivation was, he was just doing DJ work, not doing any writing or anything like that, and he ran through a red light because he was on his phone and he had his child with
Oh my
him
God.
in the car, and 2 semis barely grazed him, and he could have lost his life and his child's life just because he was distracted with his phone. He had a new sense of purpose, and now he is just constantly writing and trying to promote this positive message to try and get people to really follow the straight and narrow path, because it wasn't just looking at the phone, it's what he was looking at on the phone, and it totally changed him. And something like that, like a life-changing experience, he's in it for the long run.
Definitely.
Oh, cool. So he's a new one of the new artists.
He is, and that dude's talented, man. He's a hip hop artist, and he just, I mean, when it comes to hip hop, it's all rhythm, right? It's flow. So to be on point with the tempo, and then to go back and do what's called a double and a triple, where you basically just do the same thing you just did, just all over again. What that does is it helps your vocals just kind of stand out and give it warmth and. I almost said girth. Gives it just.
But it's like
yeah,
so it's
more
not like
body.
a reverb, but it's like
No, so it's just like
Tupac used to do that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He rapped over himself.
And it's the same notes, like the same pitch, and the same. It all does just gives it more body. So it sounds like there are three of you talking, but he does it so well, and it's lined up so perfectly.
Wow.
It sounds like one person, and that is not easy.
It's very cool.
Do you want to give us a quick sneak peek into some of the artists we'll have on the show in the next coming weeks?
Yes.
I don't know if that's something we want to give away right away.
Of course,
but
yeah, why not?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
But we've got, for example, like this neo soul singer, Rose Dior, amazing individual, great talent. But then we've got Swirl, we've got Granddaddy Jack, we've got. I'd love to bring the Alaeddin X for like
Hell yeah.
four-piece harmony. But also we've got rappers like DJ News, we've got King Michael James, and King David James. Michael James is an artist that we have under our artist management, the online management we were talking about, and he's something else.
He's very talented.
He has the most incredible voice I think I've ever heard.
Doesn't he?
Wow.
Yeah.
What a
Man, I had a client in yesterday, and I just played her a snippet of his song, and she brought her husband in yesterday, and she's like, Emo, you need to play his voice for him, and even that guy's hooked. So it works for females and males, and that just doubles your reach.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, typically you'll just gravitate towards one demographic or the other, or one gender or the other, and yeah, he seems to have an appeal to both.
And I think and with the music video that you're gonna do, it's gonna be awesome.
My directorial debut.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how that turns out.
Oh my God! All filmed with an iPhone X, and I think we're talking about keywords and searches and how people find you organically. In addition to people looking for singer-songwriter and the genre that he sings, I think we're gonna find a lot of hits from people that are looking for iPhone X shot videos. And it sounds like it's like how cheap, but
No, I mean
Check
that's,
out on
that's a
YouTube.
4K camera. I mean,
yeah, and just great resolution.
Cool.
all right. So, do you want to do a song for us?
Yeah.
Are we set up for that?
Yeah, I've got.
That's
Okay. So anyway, we were talking about going into studios and getting yourself recorded a little while ago. And you were saying, like this guy was looking at $5,000, and that seems to be like the standard price for studios, especially in this area. What do you do for people? Because that's a lot of money, but that's not nearly what you guys charge. So like, what do you do for the artists who really can't afford that, big bucks studio experience?
And that's the thing. It's in two parts. I mean, even if you have the funds to pay for it, why put that towards a project where you're going to have friends, family, and fans support you in order to pay for it? Keep that and put it towards your IRA, put it towards your retirement, put it towards your family vacation. Buy your girlfriend an engagement ring with that. I think people, artists, always lose sight because of these challenges that we have on a day-to-day basis as a musician. You always think no one's going to help me. But we've had an artist come in and they said, listen, we don't know how we're going to pay for this. And we told them, listen, we'll help you build a crowdfunding campaign. We'll even do the video for free. And you'll be surprised at the support you'll get. They're like, I don't know, man. But, fine, let's give it a shot. And they raised $2,500 in 10 days just off of $5, $10 donations from their friends and family.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, people will always help you out if they care for you, and it's a prepay. I mean, basically, it's not like donation, like please help us. It's like, this is what we have set out as far as a goal. We want to record. We found a recording studio. We found a producer. We want to offer you the ability to download the song or get the song 3 weeks before it's even released. So it's like a pre-order. And so that's the angle. It isn't begging, but it's giving the fans and the family and friends a chance to hear the song before anybody else does.
Oh, all right.
I can't hear it though.
You can't. It's not plugged in or anything.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if it's coming through.
All right, so we are wrapping up here at Granted Records. Thank you for listening to Granted Radio. Sorry about that. Emo, why don't you close us out with a song? I heard you got something new.
Yeah, I haven't written a song in, I don't even know how long. I think it's been a year.
Ooh.
I've been focusing on everybody else's music, and I had a good 30 minutes to spare this week.
30 minutes.
All right.
And so this one is a made-up story, but I haven't come up with a name yet, but I think I'm going to call it God, I had it. I wrote it down somewhere, but yeah. Well,
All right, cool.
That's
Let's
fine.
hear it. We got everything sounding good now.
yeah.
All right, so why don't you play us out, Emo? Thank you everyone for listening. We really appreciate it. Again, check out grantedrecords.com.
Sweet.
Stop by the studio. Maybe we can interview you next week. So
Great.
come on in.
Yes. Oh, there we go.
I've seen a million times. Baby, we'll be doing just fine. I think I found the love of my life. In a trust the feelings right. Moved slowly from the dark. Grabbed a hold of my beating heart. With a kiss so warm, so soft. Yeah, she rips it all apart. Will I finally learn? Whoa, you think you found the one to give me your all? But you still haven't seen the writings on the wall. Try and slow things down. Try to savor what's been found. Instead, your head's up in the clouds. Just keep both feet on the ground. Cause you see, you've been through this before. A lot of come and gone through this door. Disappointed, don't care anymore. Cause the pain's become the cure. Will I ever learn? Whoa, you think you found the one? Give me your all. But you too late to see the writing on the wall. Tell me lies. Made up your mind. Yeah, you still won't release the dark into the wild. You tell me lies. Make up your mind. Yeah, you still won't release the dark into the wild.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Very cool.
I tried to take a picture of you in the middle of it, and it kind of just looks like you're. Never mind. Not a.
I have the O face on.
Yes, I'll take a better picture next time. I'll be a little bit more prepared.
Well, I mean, you bring a lot of talent to Grant, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I think it brings it's a motivating thing for the artists coming in and for everyone that works here, really. You know, because you put your heart and soul into what you do, and I think that's what helps all of us put our heart and soul into helping these artists grow.
They need it.
Yeah, they do need it, and everyone needs that support without being scared of
Big
you know-
scary scumbag producer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And failure.
Yeah.
Failure is good.
You
is good.
grow from failure. You don't
Oh,
learn from
yeah.
successes. You learn when you fail.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I don't think we don't guarantee success, but if the person is talented and they put their heart in it, we put our heart in it also, and promoting, there should be, like any business, it should end up working out. So yeah, just for those artists that are interested in the products that we do, there's music production, music recording. Yeah, we have online presence, which
Yeah.
is website, social media management, YouTube, Vimeo, all that stuff.
And then even with that, it's the result is getting organic fans, people
Yes,
that
real
are,
fans.
Yeah.
So we don't buy fans. I don't care if it takes, most of our guys start from zero, go
Mhm.
slowly,
Mhm.
let it grow slowly. Don't sit there and say, go to Fiverr and say, I want 500. 500 what? Garbage?
Right.
Likes,
happy that
it's
we'll-
likes on Facebook,
Yeah, like,
Reddit votes and stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, who cares? Just get
Yeah.
it slowly. Get those real people there.
So
and those
go.
real fans,
Yeah.
those are the ones that'll spend $200-$300 a year
quality
on
people.
you. Yeah.
So if I were interested in Granted Records services, where would I go?
GrantedRecords.com.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the best place to go. We're on Instagram, granted.records. We're on Facebook as well. But we love inviting people to our website because we've got a 5-star just across the board. I mean, we're waiting for a 1-star. Every company's got a 1-star.
Oh,
so
yeah, it's not bad.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've
Not
seen a
bad
bunch
thing.
of the reviews on Facebook and Instagram. I myself am a recording artist.
Yes, you
that
are.
comes here. I'm a voice actor.
We're gonna have to feature you next time.
I know.
Yes.
I'll be the guest next time we don't have a guest to come in. Yeah, you guys can interview me.
All right, that's the end of episode 1. Tune in next week when we feature Granted Records artist Jaimz Mallett, who is extremely talented and has a great story to tell us all. See you then.